Hey everyone, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Justin, and yeah, this is going to be a very cheesy, corny video, but Auston Matthews just got his 50th goal of the season against the Winnipeg Jets in a massive 7-3 win, and I don't know, I cannot stop smiling. I am so happy for the guy, and yeah, I'm making an Auston Matthews appreciation video. I'm not really sure even where to begin with this. I mean, I'm 27 years old, and for the early parts of my life in the early 2000s, I remember watching the Leafs being a great team led by Matt Sundin. And I remember always watching the Leafs play the Ottawa Senators in the first round and making it through and, having some really good stretches in the playoffs. But ever since 2004, as it's well known, the Leafs just haven't made it past the first round. I spent a lot of my fandom, a lot of my life cheering for Leafs teams that just were not good at all. Like terrible, terrible, terrible. And I spent all of those years, looking at other teams and saying, wow, I wish my team had a player like that. I've been a Pittsburgh Penguins fan as my number 2 team ever since pretty much 2005 when they got Sidney Crosby. And I would watch the Penguins and watch them in the postseason every year. They were my playoff team because the Leafs never made it. And I would always think, do Penguins fans know how lucky they are that they get to watch Sidney Crosby every single night, the greatest player of this generation? They get to watch every single night. And I would think, when the Pittsburgh Penguins lose, how could you be mad at them? I mean, you have something that no other team has the privilege of being able to watch and be a fan of. And I know that they have the likes of the Evgeny Malkins and Chris Letang's, and they had Marc-Andre Fleury, but let's be real, it was Sidney Crosby. And I always wondered, what would it be like to cheer for a team to have that kind of feeling where you get to watch your team have one of the best players in the world? Well, that leads up to this story today about Auston Matthews. Obviously, we've got the core of Marner, we've got Nylander, we've got Tavares, but Matthews, I'm so happy that the Leafs have this player, and I'm so happy for the guy that he got this achievement. I know that he's got a lot of questions in the media recently. What does it mean to you to be a 50-goal scorer? And he's been, pretty modest about it, saying that it would mean a lot, but that's not what he's been focusing on. And maybe that's true, but this is a huge milestone, not only for him, but really for the city of Toronto and Toronto Maple Leafs fans. And if you're not a Leafs fan, you might be watching this thinking come on, what is this guy talking about? That's ridiculous. I go to Leafs games pretty frequently these days. I'm very fortunate to be able to do so. And, Scotiabank Arena is dead most of the time. And that's part and due to, years and years of watching a team that's had no success. And I remember going as a kid, and it was just electric atmosphere all the time. And these days it's just not. It's become a corporate crowd, obviously, but also we've just had so many years of misery. And then even the last few years of having this great team, we've never been able to do anything in the playoffs, and it weighs on us as fans. And the Leafs they don't deserve the quiet building that we've had. But tonight's game against Winnipeg, I was watching it on TV, so I don't know the full picture, but that seemed like the most electric building that Scotiabank has had in years. And if that doesn't show you what this 50-goal season means to the Leafs franchise, I don't know what is. What an awesome achievement for Auston Matthews. He's been on pace for the last few years, and whether it be his injuries, whether it be COVID shutting down multiple seasons, he's had that taken away from him. And then this year, he comes back and he did have injuries. He got a suspension and still was able to get 50 goals this season on a pace of 43 goals in the last 50 games. That is insane, unheard of. And I know, obviously, other franchises have had this too. Draisaitl's probably going to get his in the next couple days. We've seen the likes of Stamkos, Ovechkin getting 60. But for Leafs fans, this really, really is something special for us. We haven't seen it in so long. And I'm just so happy for Auston Matthews. But that does bring me to the point that, it does bother me that Leafs fans get so down on this team all the time because, like I said, I spent so many years of my life, and I'm only 27. Imagine the people that are in their 50s and 60s that have been watching this team struggle to do anything of substance in the postseason for decades and decades. But this team, no matter how much they've struggled in the first round, is a fun team to watch. And is that not the point? I mean, we watch hockey because we're fans. We want to be entertained. And these guys are giving it to us. And they make it entertaining when they lose too. And it makes us pull our hair out. And they frustrate us to no end. But moments like these are moments that I think have been taken for granted in the past. Because now we've seen the last, decade before 2016 of a team that just had nothing going for it. We barely ever had anything to celebrate. I mean, it would be Phil Kessel hits 30 goals. Yay. Now we've got a team that's doing something special. We've got players that are hitting milestones never seen before. I mean, Mitch Marner just got his fastest 300th career assist in franchise history the other game. These guys that we're watching every single night, they're a special group. And yeah, I want to see them do something in the postseason. I want to see Auston Matthews score at this pace in the postseason. And obviously, I'm hesitant to, go all crazy over the Leafs until they do something like that. But my messaging here is just look around. Ferris Bueller, life moves too fast. You won't notice how much fun we're having watching this team until you stop and take a look around. Auston Matthews hitting a 50-goal plateau. That's a real special achievement. I wish I was in the building for it. That building was bumping. I'm so happy that the fans responded the way they did. Obviously, I'm wearing my Matthews jersey. I've got my other, couple Matthews jerseys here. I'm a huge supporter of this guy. I'm a huge supporter of this team. Congratulations, Auston Matthews, on reaching 50 goals in this season.